Welcome back to another episode of Medalist Season 2. So in the previous episode, we saw, first of all, we saw Tsukasa slip right when he was trying to use the harness. He was getting a really good grasp of how to use the harness very fast, and he was getting a bit too confident with it and ended up, seeing why it's not as easy as he initially thought. He ended up slipping because of a crack in the ice and falling, but to avoid from hurting Inori, who was on the harness at the time, he ended up falling in a way that hurt him more, right? So he ended up having a fractured rib, which is going to be a painful thing for him, obviously, even now. But then they went on a bit of a road trip because they went to, I forgot which place it was, but they went on a bit of a road trip to go to the coach with the harness, right, initially, to fix the posture from Inori, because she's been struggling because the entire harness, when he was falling, obviously he kind of like shifted her axis, and now Inori struggling with pulling off the jumps again. So they're gonna go and see the coach with the harness in person to see if he can help them out. It was a fantastic episode, very comfy. The conversations between Tsukasa and Inori were so much fun. I love them, but let's see what's gonna happen in this episode with the coach and stuff. So, and this is also the second to last episode of the season, so let's see. So if you wanna watch this, Uncut and Unblurred is always on Patreon and description, and let's go into Medalist Season 2, Episode 8. Ooh. He fell. Cute. Very cute. Yeah, he's not as young. He's not as young where he can just sleep in a car without any injuries. Cute. Oh. Niigata, that's it. The determined look. Hot passion. It looks a bit worn down. Oh. Here he is. Reel you in. From another world. The harness. Look at him trying to set the mood. Oh. Yep. Yep. What a great guy. Nice. Cute. Oh. Oh. He's trying to teach both of them. Can he do it with a broken rib though? I wonder how much that gets in the way. That's okay, that's what I was saying as well. Oh. Whoa. Pretty hardcore, huh? Yep. Makes sense. Go higher instead of longer. Lock the fuck in. They're both locked in. Nice! Oh, a little bit of a stumble, but it's fine. Oh. This guy is insane. Okay. Oh. That makes sense. This guy is so cracked. She did it. That's interesting. So she, because obviously when you tense up your body, it's easier to get hurt compared to when you're like really chilled out, right? And when you're not tense. So she was starting to tense up less because of she was being afraid of getting hurt, or maybe even hurting, I don't know, Tsukasa or something that would be using the harness. But I think it was more so her being hurt, right? Maybe even because of seeing Tsukasa hurt himself. and because of that, she wasn't tensing her body, and her access wasn't right because of it, right? She went to the access with the wrong posture. Makes sense. With the wrong access, I guess. Is it only 7:30 a.m.? Whoa! Let's see it. The harness allows you without getting hurt, right? Allows you to experiment. Okay, that's fine. Wow. Whoa. He's doing... Quads? Salko. Yep. Quadruple Salkov? Okay, so I've been seeing because of this anime, I've been watching random ice like figure skating videos, and I saw like the a bunch of the quads being landed, because quads are a relatively new thing. Quads started getting introduced into like figure skating over the course of like the last like 25 years or so, and like, was it the quadruple axle or one of the quads for one of the jumps was only first on camera actually successfully landed like a few years ago, only like I think 2022, right? So quads are not an easy thing nowadays. Obviously the Olympic athletes use quads in their actual program quite a bit, right? And landing quads is quite the norm and an expectation right now in figure skating from what I've been seeing. But it's still, some of the quads are still extremely, like some of them are not even attempted, and some of the more maybe easier ones are used maybe like once in an Olympic program, right? By the best of the best, so that's insane. She's going for a quad. There's no like, what's penta? What's the 5-1? Quad, pen jump? There's no pen jump, so whatever, right? Quad is like the limit, right? So that is insane. Obviously you have like a quad combinations and stuff, but yeah. Wow! 9.7. I'm gonna lose it if I see Inori pull off a quad in a competition. I'm actually gonna lose it. Oh, she's from the opening. Or the ending. I remember her from the ending. That's insane. Uh-huh. Wow. Ooh. Uh-oh. 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 Okay, she's good. She got afraid there. That was a scare. She got scared. The courage. Yep. Yep. Yep, that's what the harness is for. That's what the harness is for. To negate the possibility of an injury. Or at least minimize it. Okay. You got this! You got this, Inori. They're so similar. So close. You're so close. she's gonna do it again.
いのりさん、成功を願いすぎちゃダメだ。
Oh.
これは思いの強さで飛べる魔法じゃないんだ。いのりさんに必要なのはがむしゃらになることじゃないよ。でも、今、頭の中にどんな言葉がある？飛ばなくちゃって気持ちがいっぱいです。
That's so cool. His experience coming through with this exact kind of thing.
じゃあ今度は4回転がどんな感覚か俺に教えようって考えてくれない？飛び上がるときどこの筋肉がギュッとするか、ど
Be
んなスピードで
methodical about it,
光が
yep.
目の前を通り過ぎるのか。光のスピード。回るとき、降りるとき、どんな風が頬にかかってくるのか。成功のためじゃなくて、一つでも多く答えを見つけるために飛んでごらん。どれだけ細かく世界を感じられるかがコントロールの鍵だよ。集中して。
Let's see. No harness?
スピードの確認、氷の音の高さ、胸の音の速さ、握る力、緊張レベルのチェック、親指の畳み方、頬に当たる風の重さ、通り過ぎる光の速さ。狙うんだ。肌で感じた細かな世界を目印に、全ての条件が揃う、その一瞬を。1回目の着氷成功ですね。おめでとう。4回転。はい。4回転サルコー成功です。みどりさん！すごい！今のもう一回！もうダメだろ、勝手に入っちゃ。まだレッスン中。いや。
That's oh, look at them. No, don't. Oh. That's insane. That's insane. That's actually insane. Never in a million years did I expect Inori to get anywhere close to a quad jump at any point in the next, like, few years. She pulled off a quadruple Salkov. A quadruple Salkov. That's insane. That's insane. Obviously, a lot of the other jumps, quadruple jumps are harder than a quadruple Salkov. But she pulled off a quadruple Salkov. That is where we start to hit the pinnacle of, you know, the turns. You can't go any further than a quadruple jump, right? Obviously, you can make combinations and stuff like that, but that is what the Olympians do, right? They do quadruples into maybe like a double or a triple, right? And even then, usually from what I've seen from the few performances that I've seen, usually quadruple jumps are standalone jumps because it's so hard to lead from a quadruple into another combination, right? Even the best of the best that I've seen, like I watched. Okay, this is how you know. Actually, let me talk about the episode first, then I'm gonna go into it. I mean, that is insane, the way that Inuri was able to pull all of those off, like the courage that is required for it. And like they talked about how, you know, every single jump you're gonna be like this kind of jump, when your axis is going around, you're flailing around a bit in the air, you're gonna be so afraid, you can't even see where you're going most of the time because of how fast and how like how much you're rotating. You can't see where you're going, so you're gonna be so afraid of any kind of injury, right? But you need to just push away that fear so that you can land it. That's insane. That is insane. And Inori was able to pull it off without a harness. That's crazy. Obviously, she's gonna need to improve on the consistency. It's not a consistent thing whatsoever, I would imagine, especially in a competition where the pressure is extra high. But if she can manage to pull this off in a competition, wow. So yeah, as I was saying before, I've seen like Olympic performances of a lot of Olympic performers where they go into a quadruple jump, and then after they go into a quadruple jump, their combination ends up being not a fully clean one because they need to readjust themselves after a quadruple jump to go into a combination. So they need to take an extra step or something, even if they land the quadruple jump. And I've even seen, you know, performances that won gold medals at the Olympics that had a fall with a quadruple jump, right? Just because of how difficult it is. At the very first half, I've seen the first jump, like the figure skater falling in the first jump when attempting a quadruple because of how difficult it is, and still winning the gold, right? Like quadruples are insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, and as I said, the latest quadruple jump was only like 2022 when Ilya something, I forgot his name, but the figure skater, the American figure skater, he ended up jumping one of the quadruples, I think the last quadruple jump that was still not achieved till that point, right? And that, if you look at that video of that quadruple jump, that is insane. He jumps like 1.5 meters into the air. It's insane. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Wow, that is, as I said, that is the last thing I was expecting, is for her to go for a quadruple. Obviously the triple we're gonna be working on as well, the triple Lutz, but the quadruple Salkov and the triple Lutz, if she can get those ready by the competition, I mean, I'm guessing the triple Lutz is not gonna be her. They said that if she pulls off a quadruple Salkov, she can then go for a double Lutz, right, and still make up for the difference. So that's gonna be interesting to see. Right? I don't think they would go for both of them. That would be too taxing on her body. I would imagine a single quadruple jump would just be insane. Because as I said, in the performances of the Olympic figure skaters, you see them go for like a 5-6 minute program, and they are completely like drenched after it, right? So I would imagine, and then they usually only have like maybe 2, maybe 3 quadruple jumps in it. So I would imagine here, yeah, a single quadruple jump for Inori is gonna be insanely difficult. But also, we are still working under the assumption that Hikaru has not improved, right? We are working off of last year's Hikaru or previous Hikaru's achievements and scores, right? So that is all under the assumption that Hikaru has not improved at all, right? So I feel like Hikaru has definitely improved since then, so I feel like she can score way higher this year than she did in the previous one, right? So we'll see how that's gonna play out, alright? We'll see how that's going to play out. But wow, what an episode! What an episode! This was absolutely insane. But for now, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the final episode of Medalist Season 2. Peace.